Sister Donna, the congregation has certainly felt the impact of the recent financial crisis, which has taken place worldwide. Can you give us some idea of how the congregation has been affected by this?
The congregation was like every other investor in the world. We lost approximately 12% of our funds. It made us more aware that we need help in maintaining our investments. We cannot do it alone.
The chapter assembly discussed the International Finance Commission, which we have had for many years, and also its role in the congregation. What suggestions came from the assembly that might contribute to how the Finance Committee might help us move into the future?
I think the suggestion of adding the investment component to the Finance Commission will certainly move us into the future. It will also help us to preserve our investments and hopefully to make them grow so that our sisters are cared for and the mission will always continue in the future.
We also spoke of the role of the General Treasurer and how that may be changing or being modified to better serve the congregation. Would you like to make any comment on that?
Say the greatest change in the role of the General Treasurer in the last year or two has been that I've had to travel more. It was necessary for me to understand the financial realities of each and every province.
You recently, if I understand correctly, you were in Brazil this past year to visit the 5 provinces and the mission there, the region. But how does this affect how you see what you must do in the future? What does this call you to? What did you learn there that may lead you to see that this may need to be continued?
The General Treasurer should be an assistance to all of the provinces. What I learned in Brazil is that there's a great possibility for this to happen. What I discovered through my visits was that we became more united. We were able to talk about finances openly and honest. I left there with a greater understanding of the concerns of the provinces. This should continue as I travel through and visit other provinces. Hopefully, I will make them comfortable in talking about money.
The chapter assembly also addressed the role of the International Finance Committee and sees it perhaps as evolving into something slightly different than it has been, not simply meeting every other year to discuss certain issues, but playing a greater role in the financial aspect of the congregation. How do you see that? What role might they take?
I think that they have to take a more active role in assisting the General Treasurer. There are many, many projects that need to be done, and this committee can do it. It can no longer meet every 2 years. It will have to meet more often. We here at the chapter talked about redesigning financial reports, looking and understanding investments, perhaps traveling with the General Treasurer so that everyone has a better understanding of the financial realities of each province. In other words, they become assistant treasurers.
During the meeting, you also mentioned the fact that it is important to have some sense of the financial viability of the different provinces, regions, and missions. Not simply their actual finances today, but what they may look like going into the future. Would you like to make any comment on that?
It is important that we all work as a single body. That's why we have to have a greater understanding of the reality of the regions or missions and provinces.